Last night's tribal, in my opinion, could not have gone better.
Tribal went exactly the way I thought it would. We'd all talked in advance that we were gonna kick off Izzy during tribal.
It was a really good feeling to think that there was at least some loyalty in a group full of snakes.
And I was a little nervous going into it that like maybe someone had like some sneaky plan that I wasn't aware of, but apparently people didn't. And it was sad to see Izzy go, but she was the only person who hadn't really reached out to anyone and didn't really seem to have like her head in the game at all. So I'm confident with the decision we made, and I'm glad it went exactly how we expected it to.
So on Tuesday, I get a text from a random number. I'm kind of bad at saving numbers, but I thought it was somebody from one of my school projects. But then I cross-reference, and it's Jude. And Jude is reaching out, asking me some questions about chemistry. And at first, I'm like, I don't know why you're asking me questions about chemistry. Like I told you I was a math major. But then it kind of clicked in my head that he's trying to, chat me up.
I have effectively created an alliance with Dunker. We've been talking a lot about that, and it's been pretty interesting.
I get a text from Jude again saying like I was really vibing with you tonight. Like I think we should form an alliance.
So a really funny thing just happened. I'm sitting on the pillars by Royce, and I get up. I'm like waiting for my class to start, and I get up to walk inside, and Jude is sitting on like the next pillar over. So we just talked.
There's certainly a level of distrust between us, but we both agree that the person who took the scroll was probably Ayushi.
And since we agreed on this person, we kind of solidified somewhat of an alliance between ourselves. So that's definitely something I want to keep in mind. He says he's one close ally, and I know I do as well. Jude told me that he had one close ally. I told him I had one close ally. He confirmed that his ally was a dude on the team, and I confirmed that mine was a girl, just so we would know that like if we're working together, we're not working with 3 people, we're working with 4 people.
Kelsey could be interested in working with us, but she didn't tell us who she was in an alliance with, and Jude did not tell her he was in an alliance with me.
He really tried to keep his person a secret, but I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's Dunker. I think everybody should know that by now, but like they've just been super tight every time they've hung out and everything, so it's been pretty clear.
Hopefully we're all on the same page and hopefully do well in this challenge. Our group is highly suspecting an eating challenge, but we will find out. Yeah. Wish me luck, and hopefully Dunker does not betray me, or neither does Kelsey, but we'll see.
Dove Tribe, getting your first look at the Snake Tribe. Izzy voted off at the last Tribal Council. For today's challenge, you guys are going to be facing off one-on-one. Each of you will be balancing a skull. Your goal is to knock off your opponent's skull before they can knock off your own. First tribe to 5 points will win immunity and rewards. Want to know what you guys are playing for?
Yeah!
We know this game is stressful, and we know bonding with your tribe early on is critical. That's why the winning tribe will be receiving a DIY spa kit.
Oh.
That's right, you're gonna have 40 face masks, over 30 flavors of tea, and sticks. All you need to bond while your opponents go to tribal council. Worth playing for?
Yeah!
It's not that simple, because in Wouldn't It Be Survivor Moral Dilemma, if I didn't put another moral dilemma on the table for you guys. Because this challenge, you guys are going to have the nuclear option. Each player competing this challenge will have the option to pull the plug. If, when you're competing, you choose to pull the plug, you will make your tribe automatically forfeit. Your tribe will lose the challenge and go to tribal council. But you yourself will have immunity, which means someone on your tribe will go home because of your decision. This challenge has got another level. Okay, I'll give you a couple minutes to strategize, then we're gonna get right into it. Okay, first round.
I wanted to go first because I was really nervous and I didn't want it to come down to me in the case that it was tied or something.
We got Mia for the snakes versus Elena for the doves.
So I was like, let me just get this out of the way.
Anna setting out the challenge for the doves. First to 5 for immunity and reward. Survivors ready. Go!
This loud, huge energy that did not seem reciprocated by the doves. So.
Round 2, we got Cam for the snakes versus Jude on the doves. Would either of you like to pull the plug and take safety right now? No? We'll let the round go on then. Go!
I didn't really go in there with too much of a strategy and just kind of froze on the spot.
Round 3. Would either of you like to pull the plug before we begin this? Take safety right now. Nope, we're both fighting for the tribe. Survivors ready, go! Come on. Very slow start to this round. Both of them taking time. We got Lucas for the snakes, Matthew for the doves. Gotta ask, anyone want to pull the plug? Nope, they're ready to play. Go.
At first I was so confused because he was just like standing there and I was like kind of approaching him.
Not flinching.
And then out of nowhere he like throws his skull in the air and pushes me. Both of the skulls fell at almost the same time.
So once we went back and looked at the footage, snakes did take that one. Next player. Right, it's 3-1. The doves need to pick it up this round. We got Ayushi fighting for the doves. Do you want to pull the plug? No. Lena, do you want to pull the plug? We'll fight on them. Come on, baby. Steady. Lena against the wobble. Ayushi, Fisher. Look at the footage again. And by just one frame, snakes took that.
It was a little disappointing that I lost the challenge by like a very small margin, but we'll get them next time.
Yeah.
This could be for the game-winning point. We've got Ahmad for the snakes and Ryan for the doves. Either of you want to pull the plug?
Absolutely fucking not.
Alright, survivors ready. Go! Finish it, Ahmad. Woo! Boys, Alright, congratulations, snakes. Come up and take it. No tribal council this week, and in fact, you guys can relax with your own spa kit. Have fun, you guys. Enjoy it. You guys can head out. Doves, a little bit of a brutal loss there, 5-1. Clearly got something you got to work out on your tribe. You can head out. I have nothing for you.
Losing the challenge definitely stung, and I think it really stung just because the snakes were just really rubbing me the wrong way the entire challenge. I guess Ryan's such a sweet guy. He's too nice almost. Another guy just came out after him, and I just felt really bad.
I think Iman's final win was just hilarious, and there's a couple really close ones, but we knew that they were on our side, and you know, we dominated that challenge pretty much.
We get this reward after winning, which feels so nice. We get this jar full of different herbal teas and face masks and stuff, and honey sticks. I love honey sticks. That was so exciting.
Yes, I think we needed this time to take a nice break, to just relax, reset. I think the other tribe having to go to tribal was great. You know, they're gonna actually now have to play the game, which I wouldn't be surprised if they like did nothing all week.
Anyone happens to walk by like down here?
Okay, so we'll start from like the very beginning.
Okay. Cool.
But Elena's the one that I have gotten together with several times to strategize. I just feel like Elena knows this game just as well as I do, and I think the two of us are the smartest with our like survivor IQ within the tribe.
Only person I've talked to so far where like we actually talked game was Jude, and I pretty much just ran into him waiting for our classes.
The first person to drop Ayushi's name was Jude. He told that to me in a random meetup before a class. Like, I didn't want to drop a name first, so I kind of like pushed him to drop a name, and he said Ayushi because he has a suspicion that she has no clue.
He thought Ayushi had the idol clue or had taken it because he thought he saw something in her shirt during the first challenge, which obviously was pretty false considering I have it.
Well, whoever has the clue, I don't think they've told anyone.
Yeah.
Because they didn't step forward at the challenge, and that would have been.
And I feel like if you tell anyone at this point, it's kind of like risking everyone knowing.
Yeah, it's like risking everyone knowing, and also it puts a target on your back because you didn't step forward at the challenge. And like, I mean, 3 people in the stage tried.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they had no shame.
Yeah, I think whoever it is probably just gonna like not tell anyone for now at least. So.
Yes.
This may probably bite me in the butt going forward, but I reached out to Kelsey asking if she wanted to be in an alliance. So I kind of went behind Jude's back, but also I kind of also talked to him about it, like saying like just kind of testing the waters, reaching out to Kelsey to see what she says.
I don't think Jude knows that Dunker isn't as solidified in his alliance as Jude thinks he is. Dunker is definitely playing a good game. And I want to keep that in mind. I don't mind working with him, but he's playing smart, and I don't want him to be playing smarter than I am.
On top of all that, I also reached out to Ryan Barry to see what he was up to. And it seems like he's in alliance with Elena. And I asked him if he was interested in alliance. He said totally. He thinks me and Elena are the people he wants to be paired with in this, like, kind of in our tribe.
I'm kind of forming like an alliance, like an allyship with Elena and Dunker. Met with them on Zoom yesterday, and then we kind of just talked a little strategy.
Yesterday, Ryan made a group chat with myself and Dunker because Dunker had texted him about being in an alliance. Dunker had not texted me, but then Ryan told Dunker that he trusted me, so would it be okay if we had a 3-person alliance?
And we talked about maybe who we were going to vote for. We threw out Ayushi. We had all kind of heard from Jude that she was the one who had taken this role, and so everyone kind of naturally was a little like suspicious of that, and we don't want someone to have like an advantage on the team.
It was really awkward. Like, I didn't know if I was supposed to say, like, hey, are you guys cool with Ayushi? Because I didn't know if Dunker knew that I knew what the vote was. Regardless, it was kind of an awkward phone call. Basically, we just said, like, oh, like, do you guys want to vote Ayushi? And they were like, yeah. It was only like a 7-minute phone call, and I didn't really learn anything new. It was kind of just beating around the bush about should we vote Ayushi, and then just being like, yeah, let's vote Ayushi. But I really get the vibes that Dunker doesn't necessarily, not that he doesn't want to work with me, but that he definitely trusts other people more than myself, like good and stuff. But he didn't text me to join an alliance, and he texted 3 other people, so that automatically makes me like not really want to work with him as much. But I know that Ryan B really trusts him, and I trust Ryan, so I think if Dunker says anything like about wanting to vote me, like Ryan would find out and he would tell me.
So I was having a peaceful weekend. I didn't really talk much about the game, but I thought I was like in an okay spot, and I just kind of thought no one was having any conversations at all. But it turns out there was conversations taking place, and it's looking like a majority is gonna vote out Ayushi. And I just found out about it today because apparently they thought like we were like close or whatever, so they're kind of keeping me out of the conversation.
I'm worried about Ayushi because I don't know if anyone has she talked to anyone. Like I don't really know like what's going on with her.
I think she's tight with Matthew.
That's what I was thinking maybe because they were talking a lot after the challenge. Everyone kind of as a collective thinks that Matthew and Ayushi are closer than anyone else is to Ayushi.
Ayushi and Matthew are getting pretty chummy, and I can definitely tell they're getting close, so I think just making sure Matthew doesn't know.
If we're doing like a predominantly Ayushi-oriented vote this week, I don't think we can tell Matthew.
Right.
Because in the chance that she does have the idol clue, if we told him like today, she would have a day to find it.
Right, and he could probably help her find it too.
He would help her. So
he was saying like we shouldn't tell Matthew, or if we do, we should maybe tell him right before the vote. But prior to talking with Kelsey, I had already texted Matthew because I really like Matthew, and I had said, hey, like, I have your back this vote, like, I'll let you know what I hear, and he said the same. And so I kind of knew that I wanted to be the one to tell Matthew if anyone was going to tell Matthew the vote was Ayushi.
But Elena called me this morning and kind of gave me a heads up that it looks like Ayushi is going to be voted out today. So being kept out of the Ayushi vote is like definitely worrying. I feel like I'm definitely like next on the list, but I think I kind of have hope because Elena called me and she's like offering like solutions, like the fact that I can like trust someone like Elena to move in the future with, like game wise, that's kind of like comforting in a way, but it's also like sucky that no one in the tribe told me where the vote was going.
So Hannah and I have been texting, and I ran into her the other night, so that was cool. We were kind of on the same page about wanting to tell Matthew about the vote being Ayushi because we both really like Matthew.
I told Kelsey and Elena that I wanted to tell Matthew about the vote because I wanted him as a number, and they both agreed.
If Ayushi goes this round, Hannah and I want to work with Matthew after this, and so if we're the ones to tell him that Ayushi is the vote, he'd be more likely to want to work with us next round versus risking like someone else telling him, and obviously he might trust them more because we just lied to his face or didn't even tell him anything about the vote. We were going to tell Matthew about the vote today right before tribal, but I also had been texting Matthew this morning and I asked if I could call him, and then I just decided to just tell him everything. He seemed like he really appreciated me telling him and that he wasn't going to tell anyone that I told him. So it's going to be kind of funny when Hannah like goes to tell him before tribal, because I guess we'll just have to all act shocked. Like he said he was gonna act shocked, so we'll see what happens with that.
When I first talked to him, he literally had no idea what was going on, and so I thought it would be a good idea for me to be the one to tell him, listen, like I know you're close with Ayushi, but it's gonna be her.
So what are your thoughts?
Are
you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm just kind of shocked right now.
What were you gonna do like if I didn't tell you?
I was kind of just like ranking everyone like from the tribe, like who I trust the most, like who I trust the least.
And I want to work with you, that's why like I'm telling you this.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well that's like comforting, but now I just like have to like, I feel like I'm very scrambled right now.
Have you talked to anyone else? Like
not really. I've like talked to everyone and it's been very like.
It's like no one give you a straight answer.
No.
Okay, well,
I feel like that makes sense now.
I'm giving you the straight answer right now that it's gonna be her. It's gonna be Ayushi. I just had to assure him that it was nothing personal. We just need her out of the game. And either way, he's not gonna go with the guy. So I'm almost positive that he's gonna be a number on our side.
I have not talked to anyone about the upcoming vote, so I'm all on my own on this one.
Keeping morale strong going into more challenges to keep winning is like very crucial.
I'm feeling pretty confident about this vote.
Who knows anymore? I could get easily voted out as well.
I love everyone on the team. I don't know who I would really vote off, but it's going to be a tough decision.
I think we all agree though that we want the snakes out. Like once we merge, we're eliminating every last of the snakes. We just hate them so much. Like so much.
Welcome, Doves, to your first Tribal Council of Survivor Moral Dilemma. Let's go back to the very beginning. You guys find out we're doing this season, it's Survivor Moral Dilemma. Elena, what do you make of that?
I thought this was really interesting. I mean, obviously we're the Dove tribe, and so I think in our interviews, all of us kind of said we wanted to play the game really loyally, and I'm just really excited to see where that goes.
Dunker, I want to ask you, how would you describe this tribe's dynamics? Are you guys pretty dovish? Is there snake behavior at play?
I think overall we're very dovish. I think we're all kind of work together. I think there's no bad links within the tribe, and that's why this is obviously going to be very difficult. There is one person that does have the scroll or the hint, so I think there is some snake tendencies, but we'll have to see as the game continues.
Yeah, let's talk about that scroll. So day one, you guys have the option fight for your group or take the selfish option, and someone here takes it. Jude, do you have any ideas who could have taken my clue?
I am not entirely sure, honestly. I was under the impression that it was one scroll entirely, and once you took it was gone, no one else could grab it, so that was kind of my game plan, but it came to my realization that everyone had their own separate scrolls, so I really have no idea who could have taken it at this time.
So that's your argument for why it wasn't you just didn't understand.
That is ignorance, that is correct.
Kelsey, how do you think that scroll, that potential idol, is going to affect your vote tonight? Is it going to affect it at all?
So specifically tonight, I mean, it only takes one idol to get somebody out of this game. If that person who has it already is playing it tonight, that's a big move, and it's very early on. But even looking forward towards the game, if we get to the merge, whichever tribe has the idol, they have essentially another person on their tribe, because at any point they could play that and take somebody out from the other tribe. So I think it's really important that if we have that idol, we need to make it last until the merge, because if for whatever reason the Doves are down a person, we need to be able to take out somebody on that snake tribe. That's honestly our best way of getting to the end.
I want to talk more about that, the snake tribe. It seems to be something you guys are talking a lot about, worried about. Ryan, how do you think about the snake? What do you think about the snake tribe?
Yeah, so I just think that honestly they're just different than us. I think personality-wise, how they're playing, how they're playing the game. I think we're very team-oriented. We want to help out each other. We're not as aggressive. We're not as kind of like, I don't know, we're just kind of nicer, and I feel like the other team is kind of the inverse of us. I think that's why, like, I think close to half of them took, like, the scrolls. So.
Interesting. You say they're willing to do whatever it takes for these advantages, but someone in this group also was willing to. Ayushi, I want to ask you, Ryan brings up team orientation in this group. How important would you say loyalty is to this group?
I think loyalty is really important, and even looking at, like, the past challenges, we did really well in the team one. Like, we all worked together, we solved the puzzle, we were able to get the puzzle pieces. We didn't do so well in the last challenge, but that was individual, and you could see how the snake tribe did better individually than as a team.
Would you say you trust this group then?
I think, yes, I do trust this group.
And I want to ask you, have tribal lines been drawn already?
I do think that tribal lines have been drawn. I wish that there were people that reached out to me first, because I would love to work with everyone. I would love to know where everyone's head is at this point. I don't know exactly, and I wish I could have a connection with everyone, but some people might not want to talk to me. They don't trust me. I would love if they did, because I think I'm a pretty trustworthy person. I'm not going to go around and tell other people what you're telling me. So if anyone in the future would like to talk to me as well, I would.
Does anyone else have that same feeling? Do you wish someone else had reached out to you who didn't?
I think we were all scared to be the first person to reach out, because we don't want to be accused of pushing too hard. I think, there was a lot of times where I was like, is someone going to say something? Is someone going to say something? Am I going to say something? But I never said something. They never said something, and nothing ever happened. So I think everyone on this tribe is they're just scared to push forward.
Something feels very like middle school dance about this. You guys are all kind of like very nervous. I think you're warming up. Kelsey, this early in the game, what do you base your vote on?
Honestly, it could be like the most random of things. Like a bad vibe could be from like one thing somebody said one time, or honestly like the social game. That's a completely separate part of the game that you might not be thinking about. If we're constantly focused on strategy, I don't know if that's going to be best for the tribe, because we need to be super unified. Ayushi mentioned the reason why we lost the last challenge was because it really was like a 1v1 challenge, and I was trying to pinpoint like what could we work on to make us do better in that type of a situation, and I didn't come to the conclusion that it was a 1v1 challenge and we did better in the team challenge. So I think she's absolutely right in that aspect, is that our teamwork I think is better than the other tribe. And as you said, that's difficult, because now we're here and we have to vote somebody off, and that's going to be really difficult because nobody wants to be the first person going home, and nobody wants to be somebody sending the first person home. It's just a really difficult decision to make.
Seems like a lot of people are talking about that last challenge. Let's talk about that. Hannah, you had to sit out that challenge. Why did you sit out, and what was it like watching your tribe get slaughtered?
It was really, really hard to watch. It was just the snakes were so aggressive, and I guess that's just their personality. It was hard to see my fellow Dubs struggle and to go through that. I almost wish that I had played, just so that maybe something would have changed, but either way, it was really tough to watch, to sit there and see the snakes at top. They were yelling, they were screaming, they were doing anything they could to maybe get in our heads. And I think that maybe their aggression maybe did get in our heads. And I think that we were maybe a little intimidated by that.
Now, another part of the challenge was you could pull the plug and take safety for yourself, but on your tribal council. Now that you guys are here anyway, does anyone regret not pulling the plug? No. Matthew, why didn't you pull the plug?
I trusted everyone on the tribe not to pull it, so I feel building trust is a very crucial part, especially in the first couple of weeks. So, I don't know. I wouldn't want to betray anyone here, and I feel they wouldn't want to betray me either. It kind of just solidifies our relationship as a tribe as a whole.
Well, none of you pulled the plug, but now the plug is going to get pulled on one of your games. With that, it is time to vote. Ayushi, you're up first.
This is really like nerve-wracking. I love everyone on the team, and I just want to say I'm really sorry for whoever goes home.
Hopefully this will keep morale high.
I've been suspecting this person for a while of taking the scroll. I think most people in that group. At least that's my reason for voting for her.
Sorry.
I can't go against the majority this early in the game. Very sad to see you go, but as long as it's not me.
If anybody has an idol or advantage and would like to play it, now's the time to do so. Okay, I'll read the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The player with the most votes will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. First vote, Ayushi. Second vote, Ayushi. Third vote, Ayushi. Fourth vote, Jude. That's 3 votes Ayushi, 1 vote Jude. Fifth vote, Ayushi. Second person voted out of Survivor, UCLA, Moral Dilemma, Ayushi. Ayushi, that's 5 votes. Please bring me your box. Ayushi, your charge is spoken. It's time for you to go. Well, Ayushi was probably the most loyal dove you guys had. Look how far that got her. That's all I have for you guys. You guys can head out.
I was pretty surprised that they voted me out, but I had no harsh feelings towards the tribe, you know. I really liked everyone, and I hope they do well